This is the Battle of the Brits as Paul Taylor returns to fight Paul Kelly, who happens to train with the most well-known Brit in mixed martial arts today. Our tale of the tape, Paul Kelly from Liverpool, 5 years younger than Paul Taylor from Walsall. Taylor has a 2-inch reach advantage. He is the taller of the two fighters, both weighed in at 170 pounds, 12.1 stone.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee. The Battle of the Brits in front of Edith, Ariani, and all in attendance here in the sold-out Metro Radio Arena, Newcastle, England. Michael Bisping will be a very interested spectator. His teammate Kelly makes his debut. There's Taylor, there's the tap, here we go. Oh, immediately they come to exchange. Wow, my goodness. Man, the hand speed of Paul Taylor, answered by Paul Kelly.
These guys are just throwing.
Are you kidding me?
This is like a movie, Mike.
What a frenetic pace.
Paul Taylor is landing some big shots on Paul Kelly, though. Kelly, I don't think he likes it. That's why he's got it pressed up against the cage. He took a couple of those on the chin, and I don't think he liked that exchange.
Wow, what a start.
Incredible. Good knees to the leg by Paul Kelly. Excuse me, Paul Taylor.
Taylor in yellow trunks, Kelly in the dark trunks.
Okay, let's work it now, Paul.
Oh, just missing with the elbow. Now they change positions, Joe.
That's the one.
Now it's Kelly pushing Taylor up against the fence. And good uppercut.
Taylor turns it around.
Taylor with an uppercut as well. Just so fun to watch the explosiveness and the quickness of Taylor. Keeps the hands up nicely.
Taylor is very good technically as well, though, Mike. He's not just a brawler. His inside leg kick, beautiful. His combinations are excellent. Guillotine, drops down for it. Lost control, though.
When Taylor closes and gets into range and delivers, he delivers with a pace that's rarely matched by anyone in the UFC.
His pace is excellent, but when he's doing it, Mike, he's very technical. He's not swinging wild. They're not arm punches. He doesn't have big gaps for counter punches to sneak in through. Very technical striker. I mean, that's one of the reasons why it's so fun to watch him.
I was just going to say the same thing, because his form is virtually perfect.
I mean, young fighters, I mean, if you want to see relentless is a perfect nickname. You want to see a relentless striker, a technical striker. You know, Paul Taylor is very impressive.
Doing a nice job keeping Kelly within his guard as well. Right in front of his teammate, Michael Bisping.
He's also doing a good job of avoiding too much damage in this position. When he's on his back, you know, he's got good control over Paul Kelly's posture, keeps that hand around the neck. He's rolling his hips over for an armbar, but he doesn't have control over anything here. He doesn't have control over any arms. He might be like trying to sweep. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Now Paul Kelly lands some nice elbows from the top. See how he keeps rolling that leg over? Now it's tough to tell if see how he throws his hips way out to the side, Mike? It's tough to tell if he's trying to isolate an arm or if he's trying to sweep.
He's got his foot up against the fence. Didn't have his toes kind of locked in, so Herb Dean didn't say you're holding on to the fence. Good technique used.
Paul Taylor bleeding a little bit. Both gentlemen bleeding.
These men came to fight.
Yeah, Mike, that might have been one of the best opening exchanges we've ever seen. Kelly doing a good job of keeping Paul Taylor on his back here. And again, he's rolling that hip over. He is trying to isolate an arm. He's trying to isolate that left arm, or the right arm, excuse me.
1 minute remains in round number 1. Doing a good job of punishing with the ground and pound.
Good elbows from the bottom by Paul Taylor.
Kelly answered those elbows that Joe talked about.
Ground and pound of his own. Now Kelly's opening up.
Kelly extends and closes. 40 seconds remains in the round.
Good ground and pound by Paul Kelly.
Bisping yelling instructions at his teammate. Then there you see Michael Bisping right in the background, Joe. Perfect proximity for his teammate Paul Kelly. Yelling for some elbows. 15 seconds remains in the first.
Paul Kelly's been doing a real good job of keeping Paul Taylor on his back.
What a first round.
Great first round.
Joe, the first 30 seconds of this fight, as good a start as you and I have ever witnessed sitting here at the broadcast table, I think, in UFC history. It was amazing.
Yeah, and so technical, Mike, especially Paul Taylor. Look at how tight these combinations are. See how even in the middle of this furious exchange, he's not opening wide. He's not throwing arm punches. The hands always come right back to the chin. Very technical. Paul Kelly, on the other hand, wild and loose.
What do you think about his nose?
But, I mean, what heart and what, just desire to mix it up displayed by both of those guys. Great exchange.
Sometimes trying to work the arm bar on the okay when it comes to two guards. It's coming off the cage. Bleeding, close finger back.
Gum shielding. There you go.
Yeah? Move around and pick him off, Paul. Don't get drawn, don't let him get you. When he goes to try and take you down, fend him off, yeah?
Out. Will the second round open the way the fight did? Liverpool against Walsall here in Newcastle. Second round is underway. Will Taylor open up quickly again?
I mean, this is the style we saw in the Crocata fight. This is the style we saw against Marcus Davis. Taylor, the relentless nickname is perfect for him. Taylor goes for the takedown. Now he's got Kelly on his back.
Kelly kind of grabbed those arms on the way down. Said, if I'm going to end up on my back, I'm going to get in a good position and guard. Now let's see what Taylor can do from top position. Half guard right now.
Taylor's got a very weird way of keeping his legs stretched out like that. He pulled it back in now, but it was a very odd base from the top. His experience is primarily stand-up. See how he does that again, where he's got his right leg stretched out like that? He's primarily a stand-up fighter, but he is improving on the ground. Looks like he's got his back. Oh, he let it go. He slipped off, and now he's on his back. That was a sloppy transition there by Paul Taylor, and that showed his relative inexperience in the ground positioning.
That's it. I'm a fist now. I'm a fist ball and elbows.
That's very unfortunate because he worked so hard to get Paul Kelly on his back, and then a simple error right there, and he finds himself on his back. Kelly pressing him up against the cage.
Now Kelly was able to do some damage to Taylor in the first round, Joe, from this position. Bloodied him up a bit. Taylor wants to get back up, not this time.
Taylor's,
Come on, let's go.
the holes in his ground game are kind of showing here.
And Kelly knew that was a potential coming in.
Well, that's what we saw in the Marcus Davis fight. He had Marcus in all kinds. He lost control on the ground.
3 minutes remains in the second round. As good a start to a fight as you and I have had the honor to call. Hasn't been able to pass guard though yet. Doing damage inside, but hasn't gotten to a truly dominant position, Joe.
Well, the real problem I see in this position is that Paul Taylor doesn't seem to be able to shake Paul Kelly off at all. Not only that, not even close. Like he's in no danger of being reversed, no danger of getting out of this position. So if that's the case, Paul Kelly's going to be able to keep him in this spot every time it goes to the ground. He's going to be able to eke out a decision.
Well, Kelly post weigh-in seems to be the much bigger fighter, and he's taking advantage of that advantage.
Saw that cape.
And exactly, well done.
On the fist elbow.
2:10 remains in the second.
Paul Taylor he's going for a Kimura.
And he's trying to crank it.
He's got it here.
Can he finish?
But the problem is he doesn't have any control over the legs. See his half guard, it's very loose and sloppy. He doesn't have any control over the body. He's got the arms straightened out, but Kelly's not in any real danger right here. He doesn't have enough strength. Now, full guard. If he could lock his legs
pulled the arm
he
free.
lost it.
And Bisping reacted nicely.
That, again, we're seeing Paul Taylor's relative inexperience on the ground. His primary concern, once he locked that arm and had it straightened up, should have been established much more control over Paul Kelly's body. Either a full guard or a lockdown on that half guard, not that loose half guard that we saw. And him straining and pushing and doing it with his muscles, that's exactly what you don't want to do. You want it to be technique, and you want to use your whole body, not just straining with your upper body.
Taylor trying to throw some fists from the bottom.
Again, he tries to control that wrist. I mean, that's his go-to move. You can see it. He's had some success with it. He's holding onto that arm again, but see how loose his guard is? Even in the closed guard, there's so much space.
And as you said earlier in this round, Joe, the thing that's most frustrating to Taylor is that he's not able to shake Kelly.
He's rolled it again. He's got his hands locked up.
He's tried to submit him a couple of times, but he can't shake him. He can't get this fight back up to the feet.
Sweep him. Paul Kelly with some bombs from the top here.
Kelly resembling his teammate Michael Bisping in this top position. Under 30 seconds remains in the round. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. A big cut open on the forehead of Paul Taylor. That elbow landed big time.
Immediately started gushing blood, Mike. That might be a real problem. That is nasty.
That was an elbow just a moment ago, and that's all it takes. Joe, if you catch it the right way, boom. You just need a little bit of force, a little bit of distance, and he opened him up in a big way.
Herb Dean took a real good look at that cut. The forehead bleeds so bad, Mike, sometimes a cut that's not even that bad just looks horrible, you know, when the guy's head is covered with blood. But hopefully the cut man can put a stop to the bleeding here. Let's take a look at what caused it. Here's Paul Kelly's elbow dropping right down. Right there, bang. Oh,
you can see it.
Mike.
What a great look,
it's
guys.
It's a big gash, too. It looks to be about 2 inches long at least. Yeah, ooh, that's nasty. Wow, that's nasty. If I was in Paul Taylor's corner, I would say, whatever you do, stay off your ground game. Stop it. No going to the ground. Stand up with this guy. That's the big advantage. Paul Taylor initiated the ground game in that round. He took Paul Kelly down.
Show our respect again.
Oh, look at this.
Wow.
Come on. And the crowd responds. And immediately these guys go to war again. Oh,
he buckled him.
Taylor.
He buckled him. And there's the takedown.
Taylor trying really hard for a sweep, but just not enough control. Paul Kelly has much more control on the ground.
Kelly trying to finish it here early in the third. The Brits love their fights, and these two men are great fighters.
Paul Kelly landed some bombs here. His
Taylor's
ability
opened
to
up
control
again.
Taylor on the ground has been the real story of this fight, Mike.
Yep, and he's opened up again. That didn't take long. And you talked about it. You said he just can't. You said he just can't shake it.
Side control. Now this is even worse. Now Taylor's in some serious trouble.
Going to put that leg, trying to hold the arm down. Can't do it there.
The only thing that's preserving him here is the fact that it's an awkward spot for Kelly because Taylor's so close to the cage. He's got his legs up on the fence, and he can kind of push. But if Taylor can, if Kelly can continue to turn, yeah, there he does, and keep Kelly on his, Taylor on his back here. Oh,
big elbow again. Boom.
And then to that same spot. And Taylor did a good job right there of getting back to half guard at least. Now he's got full guard. Good body shots by Kelly from the top.
This fight has gone for Paul Kelly pretty much according to plan.
The beginning seconds were pretty tough on him.
They were, yeah.
The kid's tough. And as soon as he goes to the ground, he's just been the better fighter in that position.
And as I said, as he entered the Octagon for the first time in his career, he's only 23 years old. And he's with a fine team at the Wolf Slayer. His teammate, Michael Bisping, gonna come down.
Herb Dean standing back up.
To the middleweight division, and then it looks like we got one at 170 from Liverpool that Joe Silva can put into more action. Kick again.
Paul Taylor immediately firing bombs.
That's what he needs to do, as you said, Joe.
And Kelly responding off this cage.
Standing up, Taylor is far from finished with this fight.
He's got to be careful he doesn't get tripped. Bang,
again.
Back to his back. Paul Taylor has so much potential, but his weakness is his ground game.
And again, as I mentioned it earlier, just from physical appearance, Kelly, the bigger and more powerful fighter, and he's utilizing that very well, posturing up now. He was going to look to overwhelm Paul Taylor, and he's done exactly that. That was his game plan coming in. 145 remains in the fight.
Yeah, Kelly has utilized some really good ground and pound, and I suspect he's going to walk away with the decision here.
Taylor's only hope may be to get back up and make sure this doesn't go to the judges' scorecards. Those big elbows again. 120 remains in the fight.
Taylor's never given up. He keeps trying, but it's a little bit of, it's getting kind of futile. He's again trying for that Kimura. That is his main move.
Yeah, he tried for it earlier. And you said he just, without the hooks in, he wasn't able to tweak it enough.
Yeah, Taylor and Kelly's very aware of it, and he's having none of it now. Taylor never stops. I mean, he's still throwing, even from his back. Throwing elbows, throwing hammer fists.
Kelly's really kept a nice pace up as well. Big elbow in the second round.
The story of this fight has really been Kelly's ability to keep Taylor on his back.
Opened up the gash on the forehead of Paul Taylor.
Taylor's got to do something drastic. 15 seconds left.
Paul Kelly kind of defines Octagon control. The locals love it here in Newcastle. What a fight. What a fight.
Great brawl. Everyone's on their feet here.
Standing ovation for Paul Kelly, Michael Bisping's teammate, and Paul Taylor.
The Brits love a good fight.
Yeah, they just saw one.
Let's take a look at some of the elbows here. Now this is the beginning. This is the one that started it all off.
Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27. Declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Paul Kelly.
A great way to debut in the UFC for Paul Kelly.